Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to try to make this one quick, but very informative. I was supposed to be on the road about an hour ago to head out for the first hunt of the year, and but I did promise some people on a few traditional pages on Facebook that I was going to make this video and cover this topic. So let's dive into it. First, before we dive super deep into the actual clicker and how to set it up and how to use it, there are a few things that I want to make sure that you guys understand that is important in your shot process in order for this clicker to do what it is supposed to do. Okay, so the first thing is that you need to make sure that you have a solid anchor, and you need to make sure that you're using back tension. Now, a good way to know if you're using back tension, Tom Clum teaches this. This is free material that you can get from Tom Clum all over different kinds of websites, is put your arm out like this and move it straight back. Straight back, straight back. Same with, I'm a left-handed shooter, so this is the arm that I actually draw my bow with. So straight back, straight back, straight back. Now we're going to put our hand like this, like we're anchoring. Straight back, straight back, straight back. What that's doing is you're rotating into a back point. Now, what's most commonly known as shoulder pulling is if I come here and I go straight back as if I was trying to go this way instead of this way, you'll notice I stop somewhere along the back side of my head here. This, for me, I have really bad shoulders. Luckily, I'm still able to shoot 56-pound bows, but if I come back here, that's as far as it goes. Now, if I go and rotate back, look how much further back I can go. Now I'm using true back tension because I'm literally pushing back behind me. Okay, so that's the key. That is going to be a huge part in setting up this clicker. If you do not get this down, you could run into some issues with your clicker. Okay, that is the biggest thing that made the biggest difference for me, is going from shoulder pulling to true back tension in rotating back. Now, how I do it in my mind is I draw a line with my elbow. Okay, when you're doing back tension and if you put your arm out like this and you go straight back, what is that elbow doing? It's moving in a line this way, right? So at full draw, I'm imagining drawing that line straight across with my elbow. Now that helps me, instead of thinking of pulling straight back like this, that just helps me do that motion, is thinking of drawing that line with that elbow coming straight back into a release. Okay, so now the second most important part of setting, before you even put the clicker on your bow, is going to be figuring out, draw your bow back without a clicker. Figure out with a load where that point is where you hit a back wall, because with back tension you will hit a back wall as well, and that back wall is your spine. It's your muscles compressing against your spine, and that's what's stopping you from going any further. So you're going to be drawing back and find out where that point is in the back tension. You'll feel it in your back of where that stops. Now, where that is very important when you notice it with load on, and I'll get into that in a minute. So to start with installing your clicker, the key is to try to get this on the non-working load portion of your bow. If you have a recurve or a longbow, you want to try to get it on the non-working part of your bow. The way I explain that to people is it's the part that's not moving as much as the rest of the bow when you're drawing the bow. Easiest way to do this is if you have a buddy, have your buddy look and tell you right about where to put it, or film yourself and do it that way. Okay, now second thing, your clicker is probably going to come with some sort of chain or in like a cord. First thing I always do is get rid of it. okay? I use standard D-loop material number 24. Number 24 in particular because I find that it stretches a lot less after shooting it, okay? So number 24 is what I use, okay? And then what I do is I just flare out one end. I will show you how I do it. So I just, yep, this is an old one. Okay, so I just rub it with my finger like this. Take a lighter. You're gonna need a lighter, a knife, a screwdriver, and a pair of pliers, okay? Flare it out. Use your lighter and just kind of go over it till it makes a little ball. I like to get it kind of hot. And then I use the metal part of the lighter here and just push up against it. Makes it flat. It's not gonna pull through that clicker. I've had this clicker on this bow for over almost a year with the same cord, and it has been absolutely perfect, okay? So don't worry about it. It's not gonna pull through, okay? Now, the next portion was your D-loop. Don't mushroom out both ends like this, because now you're not gonna get it through your clicker. So typically I'll burn one end, just kind of pull it straight, feed it through your clicker, and feed it into your string. Now, where I feed it into my string, I always try to make sure that it's not off at an angle like this or going up to the top of the string. I always try to make sure it's as close to kind of straight as you can, okay? You're gonna need a lot more cord than you think, okay? Get about, I'd say probably 10 inches, 10, 12 inches. Feed it through there, draw back, and I do this with the clicker in its stock form, okay? So the stock form, it clicks like so. So this is going to be important. This one is extremely silent. This is my hunting bow. You can barely even hear it, but I can feel it in the grip here, and I can feel it in the string all day long, so I don't worry about it, but super quiet, okay? I will show you how to do that for hunting. And no, I do not have any athletic tape, any kind of Luco tape, anything like that. You can see right here. I'll try to get it nice for the camera there. No tape of any sort on it, just a standard clicker, okay? And I will show you how I accomplished that. So with your clicker on there and the standard clicking, the loud click, what I do is I set it up like I normally would, okay? Luckily I have two clickers, okay? I have the silent one and I have the loud one. So I always just, when I'm trying to set up a new cord, I use the loud one, okay? Now, if you're doing it my method, I'll explain the little details and the differences near the end of it, okay? So I put this on, I set it up, and I want to set it up to remember when I said you have that back wall for back tension, drawing that line with the elbow, and there's a back wall, okay? I set it up so that it clicks about probably, I'd say about 16, about a 16th of an inch before I hit that wall, okay? So you need to know where that wall is. I draw back, click, okay? The reason I do that is because if I set it up at my wall, I have nowhere to go from there, okay? With a 16th of an inch before the wall, click, release, I'm into the back of my wall now, okay? So the rest of it's gonna kind of carry through. What this does is this minimizes the chance of you being able to pluck the string. The reason you can pluck the string when you're shoulder pulling is because you're pulling straight back. It's easy to go like this, away from your face, or down from your face, okay? When you set your clicker up this way, the way I have it set up, when you draw back You're dragging that elbow across, click. You're already in the motion of dragging your elbow. And it's going to go click, release, where your hand has to go to a good finishing position almost all the time. I've only ever had it once where I didn't go to a good finishing position, and that's because I did not keep driving tension. And what I mean by that is what happened was I was drawing, I was expanding, elbows drawing that line, obviously a lot more minute than what you guys are probably seeing here with my elbow. But my elbow is drawing that line, and then I slightly came back. So instead of drawing that line this way, it clicked and I let forward, pulled back and released, and that's how I got a pluck, okay? That's what you would call collapsing. Ever since then, I've driven into my mind, draw to the click, draw, click, release, boom, just like that. It should be a psycho trigger. I used to use these as a draw check for years. Like, I don't want to say years, about a year and a half, I'd say. I used it as a draw check, okay? Up until like just recently, I switched over to using it like this, okay? So using it as a draw check is a good tool, but this is a better tool, okay? It's gonna be difficult at first. If you're struggling, shoot it with the clicker being loud for a little while, okay? I know it's annoying. I know it's not fun, okay? It really is, but it's gonna help you out when you do make it silent because it's gonna hold you accountable because you're gonna know what it's supposed to feel like. So when it clicks, I release and my shot breaks. Now you may be asking, if you're focusing on doing this and expanding, how do you know you're gonna hit what you're hitting? Well, one of two things, okay? I shoot instinctive, so for me, it's all about just staring at what I want to hit and just kind of burning a hole and almost black, like, I don't want to say blacking out because I don't really black out, but just staring at what you want to hit and then drawing through your shot and expanding and releasing on the click. Now, my buddy, he shoots a gap shoot, which is fine. He uses the clicker the same way. The main thing you need to focus on here is your body is going to do 90% of the aiming for you. You need to be focused on that portion of the shot that you can control, which is your expansion and release, okay? If you can do that, your groups will get incredibly tighter. I just shot today, and I shot one of the better groups I've ever shot. Now, I will tell you, before I had my clicker set up like this, using Tom Klum's teachings and form, I would have a group at 20 yards about like this, and that was good, okay? And 30 yards about like this was good. After I set this up like this and started really using back tension and setting it up with the click right before my back wall and giving me enough expansion to get that release off clean, my groups at 20 yards went from this to this, okay? And if I'm having a really, really good day, sometimes at 20 yards I'm shooting like this, okay? And at 30 yards, I went from this to somewhere in a pie plate size, okay? And then again, if I'm having a really, really good day, I'm shooting softball size, okay? And most days I can shoot a softball size group out to 35 yards is kind of my max. This is incredible. I cannot tell you how much this has made me a better archer, and that is why I'm sharing this information with you guys, because I want to be able to help you guys. And if you have any questions on how to set these clickers up the right way, please let me know, and I would be more than happy to help you, okay? I will put videos out after my hunt this weekend of me shooting with the clicker, and so you can kind of see what it does and how it works, how I use it. Now, I'm not saying my way is the best way. I'm not. Everybody has their own opinion. This is traditional archery. Everybody has their own style. This is my style, and it's working really, really good for me and a lot of other people around here that I've been helping set these up like this. And it is doing amazing things for our traditional community here in my area. Our traditional shooters are more confident, more happy to be out there shooting. You see a lot more of them at the range because they're enjoying shooting their bow again. And that's kind of my goal with this channel, is I want to help you guys become better. I'm not the god of archery. I don't know everything, but I do pour a lot of time into learning this and becoming the best I can at it. And so I want to be able to help you guys out. Now, you get your clicker all set up, okay? Now, when you're setting it up, the nicest way to pull without pulling too much or too little is grab the excess on this end and just use the string as your little bit of leverage to pull that up little by little to get it exactly where you want it. You're gonna need to shoot it about 30, 40 times. So make sure that you are fresh, because I'm gonna tell you right now, your back muscles are gonna get sore when you're shooting properly until you shoot enough arrows like this, okay? Your first 5 arrows are gonna be great, and then after that, you're gonna notice that you're sore. It's just gonna happen because you're not shoulder pulling anymore. You're using correct back tension. Now, if you don't want to use a clicker and you still want to learn about correct back tension, you can go ahead, shoot me a message, and I would be glad to help you with that as well. But this is going to be clicker specific here, okay? Now, once you get it all set, the easiest way I found to make sure that you do not burn your string, because you do not want to burn your string, is set your your bow up just like this. Cut it about, I'd say 5/8 of an inch from where it needs to sit. Do not let it move though. Cut it, fuzz it up, and then take your lighter. Now, I was a bow technician for a little while, so I have done this a handful of times. So if you're not comfortable with it, pull it out a little bit, grab it where it was set with your pliers, and burn it up here. I do it while it's sitting where it's at, and take your lighter and just slowly go close to it, but don't get too close to that string, because you don't want to be too hot and get way too close to that string. I could actually zoom in on this string, and there's not a single missing strand off of this string. Now, another key thing to this with your string is going to be making sure that you have a quality string on your bow. If you do not have a quality string that is going to settle in, and you're constantly having that string stretch, you're going to run into problems, because your cord is going to keep twisting and twisting, and you're going to have to carry a screwdriver in the field with you. So get a good quality string. I use 10-ring strings by Alan Schaefer. If you guys want to order a string from him, message him on Facebook. He's an awesome dude, super punctual shipping, really, really great dude. This bow is not fast flight compatible, so you would think that my strings stretch all the time, and they don't. I shot about maybe 100 arrows through these strings, and then they stop stretching past that. And these are B55 material. Like I said, Alan Schaefer makes an awesome string. Go ahead, check him out. He does not pay me or give me anything for free. I just really, really support the guy, and he is an awesome person. Okay, so good quality string, and don't get too close to that string when you're burning your nocks, all right? Your tag end. Okay. Now, some people will tie a nail knot up here so it doesn't slide up and down. I've never had that issue with Allen strings. I did with other sets of strings where it would slide up and down, so I would tie a nail knot up here and sometimes even down below. You can do that, not necessary. Now, probably the moment that you guys have been waiting for the longest is how I get this silent, okay? It's super, super simple, okay? When you get your clicker, I'm gonna come close to the camera here. Let me unscrew this piece for you guys so I can show you what I'm talking about. Come on. Get on out of there. All right. So, when you're looking at this, you see that circle right there? There's a little circle. That circle is what's making your clicking noise. So when you pull this, Now, if you also notice, there's a line that kind of goes through the center of it, right there, all the way through, okay? So what I did is I took a flathead screwdriver, a big one that will go across this entire length, and set it on that line and hit it with a hammer, okay? You don't have to hit it very hard, or you can set it on there and you can just grab the one end and bend it. And then after that, it'll get super, super quiet. If you bend it too far, it's going to get a little too quiet. So don't bend it too far. Make sure that you can get that screwdriver back in the same spot so you can bend it back. And then you will have a clicker that sounds like this. Super awesome for hunting. I absolutely love it. So like I said, I did promise that I'd make this video, and I wanted to fulfill that promise. I went over a lot of information pretty quick because I am trying to get on the road here to go hunting. But I wanted to get this video out and make sure that you guys have this information at your disposal and that you guys have this information to use. So if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, or message me privately and I would be more than happy to help you. But if you guys like more videos like this and little tips and tricks like this, go ahead, let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys like my channel and want to see more of my videos, go ahead and subscribe. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video.